I stepped into the dusty shop that had belonged to my late uncle, my eyes taking in the faded shelves and forgotten trinkets that told mysteries of a bygone era. At that exact moment, I heard the shrill sound of laughter, Rachel's laughter. She stood at the counter, her head thrown back, amused by some private joke. Her words bit deep, despite the delicate quiet in my heart. "Enjoy your inheritance of rubbish," Mom had snarled, her voice dripping with venom I never thought I would taste. "My new boyfriend has a mansion and money." Each word felt like an intentional shot at something I couldn't quite describe. But, in that moment, fury did not surge as it should have. Instead, I managed a faint, almost defeated smile and murmured, "Thank you." I could see the astonishment in her eyes. She expected devastation, tears, urgent cries for forgiveness, or even a call for her to stay. Yet I was strangely empty, oblivious to the brutality of her parting. With a rapid gesture, she picked up her suitcase, slammed the door behind her, and walked away, leaving behind an echo of laughter and a deep, searing vacuum in my chest. I felt as if every stride she took was deleting part of a common past that I could never regain. That night, as the shop fell silent, except for the creaking of old floors and the gentle whisper of wind through cracked windows, I remained. Took consolation in the delicate act of dusting clean my uncle's abandoned office, a modest room packed with memories and mysteries. My hands, roughened by years of working with tools and lost hopes, brushed against a concealed cabinet in the far corner. Something strange drew my attention. With careful curiosity, I opened it and saw a small antique key resting atop a folded yellowed note. My pulse accelerated as I unfurled the fragile paper. The message was penned in my uncle's unmistakable calligraphy, each stroke loaded with significance and purpose. The words sent a shiver down my spine. "If you find this, you are ready. Follow the key and trust your instincts." I paused. Thud. Sound of my own breathing was loud in the stillness of that abandoned space. The note, the key, they were clues, relics of a secret life my uncle had led, now left in my hesitant care. I felt as if the cosmos had conspired to deliver me this legacy, a mystery, shrouded in the vestiges of his past. As I clutched the cold metal of the key in my palm, its weight seemed to anchor me to a destiny I had never sought, but now could not escape. I traced my fingers along its intricate design, each notch and curve a promise of secrets waiting to be unraveled. The shop around me seemed to lean in, as if listening to the silent debate between memory and fate. And in that long, heavy moment, I knew nothing in my life would ever be the same again. The key was not simply a tool. It was an invitation to step into a realm of hidden truths, where every object in this abandoned shop might tell a tale, and every shadow might shroud a new beginning. I closed my eyes for a fleeting second, trying to gather my scattered thoughts, and when I opened them, I was ready. The laughter that had once filled the room with bitterness now rang as a distant memory, drowned out by the pulsating pull of mystery and destiny. I took a deep breath, and with the key still warm in my hand, I moved forward, determined to uncover the legacy my uncle had left behind, but also a strange resolve. I had spent years living in the shadow of my uncle's secrets, and now, faced with this living manifestation of avarice, I could not falter. Barely trying to construct a response, I recalled the wisdom of Dr. Adrien Cole, the historian who had become my reluctant mentor. I had looked to him in that moment as I gripped the shard, a desperate bid to decipher the symbols and the legacy buried in my uncle's journal. Dr. Cole's grim investigation had traced the cryptic symbols to a long-forgotten temple in Greece where the second chunk of the heart was supposed to be buried. His warning resonated in my head. If the second piece was truly there, I would not be the only one seeking it. Marcus Vale's presence now confirmed that I was on a perilous path, a race against time, and a rival whose only purpose was to grasp the power of the heart for himself. Marcus took a step closer, his stare never leaving mine, and I knew that words would soon give way to violence. With my pulse thumping in my chest, I turned and ran, determined to put as much distance as possible between us. My feet pounded against the uneven cobblestones as I sprinted through narrow alleyways and over decaying walls. The sound of Marcus's hard footfalls echoed behind me, a brutal reminder that every second counted. In the heat of the chase, I could only think of Dr. Cole's solemn counsel and the cryptic maps that promised further clues concealed in the depths of the Mediterranean. I needed to reach a safe sanctuary, a place to regroup, and that notion spurred me forward, even as exhaustion threatened to overtake me. I found refuge in an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of a small settlement, its cracked windows and creaking door offering little protection from the maelstrom of my thoughts. Once inside, I collapsed onto a threadbare cot, the adrenaline slowly ebbing away, leaving behind a cold, numbing dread. I knew Marcus would not relent. He was as ruthless in his quest as I was in my desperate hunt for answers. The shard pulsed, softly in my fingers, a silent reminder of the legacy I had inherited and the perilous journey that lay ahead. As I sat in the dim light of the farmhouse, I allowed myself a single moment to comprehend the immensity of my predicament. This was no longer a mere hunt for relics. This was a battle for truth, for the legacy that might either shatter or save everything I held dear. From this moment on, every decision was a matter of life and death. I could only hope that the lessons of the past and the whispers left behind by my uncle would be enough to guide me through the deadly road ahead. I arrived in Greece with a troubled heart and a mind full of questions. The voyage had taken me far from the familiar landscapes of Scotland, and now I stood on a rocky shore where ancient whispers intertwined with the relentless crashing of waves against jagged cliffs. I had recruited Luca, a local diver with a steady hand and a quiet confidence, to guide me to a submerged temple, one that legends claimed held the second shard of the heart. As the boat cut through the dark waters, the air was thick with salt and silent expectation. Every ripple seemed to hold the weight of secrets buried deep below. Luca's calm eyes studied the horizon as he readied his diving gear. With a quick gesture, he motioned for me to join him in the small, inflatable dinghy. I clutched the old leather pouch at my chest, feeling the weight of the first shard, a chilling reminder of how treacherous this journey had already become. As we drifted away from shore, the sea grew eerily calm. Slowly, the outline of a massive, forgotten structure emerged from the depths, a temple swallowed by time and the relentless pull of the ocean. Its crumbling stone columns, softened by generations of water, stood like silent sentinels guarding mysteries long concealed. My heart pounded as Luca steered the skiff toward the temple's entrance. He secured our watercraft and helped me into a diving suit. The shift from the warm air above to the cool, shadowed world beneath was jarring. As I submerged, the light of the sun faded to a dim glow, filtering through the water in fractured rays. We swam through a narrow passage into the temple's interior, where the silence was absolute, and every movement echoed in the still water. Beams of light broke through gaps in the stone ceiling, illuminating a circular chamber. It held a quiet, almost sacred majesty. At the center of the room stood a stone pedestal, and on that pedestal rested the second shard of the heart. Its surface gleamed with an eerie, pulsating glow, as though it had a heartbeat of its own. The sight filled me with both wonder and a deep, unfathomable dread. I moved slowly, every muscle clenched with caution, ready for whatever might emerge from the temple's hidden depths. Just as I reached toward the pedestal, the water shifted. A sharp ripple sliced through the silence.